Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to drop this gem on you guys today because I literally been getting one question over and over and over again. People are always asking me like, how do you find your first Airbnb property without being a property owner? How do you get a landlord to agree to letting you Airbnb it, this and that type of question? And I even like went and I looked on YouTube, and I really have not found anybody that's about to give y'all the same advice that I'm gonna give you. If you want to learn how I got my first Airbnb property, things to consider, and then other ideas and ways that you can get your first Airbnb property without actually owning any property. Use the timestamps below if you want to skip to a certain question, but I'm gonna make it short and sweet and just get right into it. This is how you get your first Airbnb property.
Watch how we ball. I ain't never home for long. You pull up when I call. All the hood niggas respect me. Strippers wanna sex me.
First, I'm gonna tell you guys how I got my Airbnb, and also like the #1 way I would suggest that you get yours. Use the place you're living in. Okay, so basically how I would go about it is I would find my next place that I'm gonna live, right? And if I'm already thinking about Airbnb, I'm gonna be selective in where I live, thinking that I can replicate these steps again in the future. But anyways, so basically I would get a new place and I would overlap the leases by like 3 months, 2 to 3 months. I moved into my new place. This is literally what I did. I moved into my new place, and then I kept literally everything in my old apartment, literally all my furniture. I did refurnish, not refurnish it, but redecorate it a little bit to make it more gender neutral, and then added like some different things to just check the Airbnb boxes off. But for the main part, I left everything I had there, started over with all new furniture here, and then I turned that into my first Airbnb property. Once I saw things went good and I had the green light on it, I then, when the 3 months was up, I switched to a month-to-month lease to further be afraid to commit. But yeah, literally I would use the property you have and just turn that into an Airbnb. I didn't intend on doing that when I first moved in there, but it kind of happened. And then also I'm lucky enough that my location worked out so perfectly because it's like a live work space for apartments. So there's literally like smoke shops, boutiques, hair salons, music studios that people have turned their apartment into places of business, and the office really doesn't care. That's how I did it, especially if it's your very first property. Like, you might want to get your feet wet and just kind of learn. If things kind of don't work out there, then you just have a couple months to figure out. It's not gonna be anything detrimental to your life. You know, a risk goes both ways. You could take an L on it, and I've definitely taken L's on my property. So don't risk what you're not willing to lose, and you gotta be ready to lose. I gave up everything for this business. It's just use the property that you have. Light bulb. Things to consider when you are looking for a property, and then I'm gonna tell you other ways that you can go about getting properties. So the reason why mine is so perfect is because, one, I have a first floor unit, so I didn't have to worry about the resident going in and out of my building, talking to neighbors. It had a private entry. First floor is perfect because you can switch out the lock, and then you're able to do, you know, check in and check out based on systems. I don't have to be there, just send the cleaning lady in there. So it was really just an ideal property. It kind of just worked out really well that way. Also, when looking for a property, think about, so in your head, if I were to right now go out and try to find a property, this is what I would do. I'm gonna say it that way. First off, I would go on the Airbnb app and I would look at where other Airbnbs are. And then you wanna look at how they're doing, what their prices are, what their reviews are, what people kind of feedback it's getting. So do that, go on the Airbnb app and look where other people have their Airbnbs. If there's other people already doing it there, it obviously more than likely is working, especially if there's a lot of them there. So I mean, unless you're afraid of a little bit of competition. So if I were to get a new Airbnb, and when I do get an Airbnb, my next one, I'm going to go on the Airbnb app and do my research from that angle. Also, like I said, first floor apartments are key because you have to consider how you can make this systematically work the best. The point of this is passive income, which means you don't want to have to be there micromanaging it. If you can set up the system where people can come and go, and the cleaner can come and go, the maintenance man can come and go, and you virtually never have to be there unless you choose to be, that is going to be the property for you. Also, the decorating is the major key. You have to go for a high end. The bottom line is to be considerate of what demographic you're marketing to. Me, I market to business savvy type demographic. So when I furnished mine, I left a huge computer desk, computer chair, Apple desktop computer, a printer. Like, I really made sure to tailor my demographic towards business professionals, because I knew I didn't want, this lease is in my personal name because I used to live there. So I knew I didn't want people coming looking to party, things like that. Another random tip I'll have is, in my listing, I put that I live on the property, so that when people are like, you know, looking at it, they're gonna be like, oh, she lives next door. You know, obviously they know they can't get away with nothing slick. When people are booking your Airbnb, they're not really looking at price per night. A lot of times, if your demographic is gonna be a bigger group, my demographic is not groups, but they're gonna be more so looking for price per person. So I would shoot for a bigger property. And this is what I'm gonna do next. My next property, for my next one, I'm definitely gonna get one that can sleep like 6 people, because then I'm gonna charge like I want a property I can charge $400 a night for. So, but they're not gonna look at it, wow, that's $400 a night. They're gonna be doing in the math how much per person that they're having to pay. That's what they're gonna be looking at. And if it's luxurious and it's worth it and all of that, the numbers are just gonna be adding up differently. So definitely try to take that type of perspective if you are interested in a demographic that could cater to larger groups of people, because there's a lot of money in that. So, and I always say this in almost all my Airbnb videos, make sure that you have a Ring camera. And right now I'm gonna mention that I have 2 other Airbnb videos. I have a Q&A of how I started my Airbnb. I go into a lot of details of how much it costs, so check out that one. And then my second one is about, I take you guys into my Airbnb, give you guys a tour, and I deep clean it and give you a lot of different tips of how to decorate it, how to set it up, different rules and things I have in place. So a more hands-on video. And then this is my third Airbnb video. That's basically things you want to consider. Parking is really big to consider. I say that in my other videos. And then also like different city and state laws you might have. Like for example, Atlanta, literally in April, it just dropped it's starting a new law, which I have to look into way more. I don't really know that much about it yet, but they want us all to have short-term rental license that we have to acquire. So, and for another example, I have a few Airbnbs in Minnesota. I've been having them no problem, and then I just got a new location, and for some reason in the settings it only allows you to do 30-day or more rentals. And I think that it's because of the address, that the building actually sets those parameters that they're only allowed to do long-term rentals. Okay, using the Airbnb app is like a huge resource. Like I go in there and I look at other people's descriptions, their rules, their fees. Like whenever I have an issue, like I've talked about, I have parking issues at one of my locations, I literally go to the other listings in my building and see what they do for parking, what offerings they have for parking. So I feel like using the Airbnb as a main resource for the app is huge. There is a strategy called the rental arbitrage strategy, and I recommend researching that if you're looking into it. It's basically where you just go to a landlord and ask them to be able to use their property as an Airbnb. There's a ton of content out there of how to approach landlords and try to make that deal happen. My number one advice is definitely to like do your research. Like this is an investment, and I feel like it's quite, like I don't have a problem with you guys asking me questions. Like I'm here to answer your questions if I can, especially if you ask me on my YouTube channel. That's the #1 place you're gonna get answers from me. But I get a lot of DMs like where people will write me this long paragraph and like basically expect me to sit and like write a really long paragraph back, giving them all the information that I spent so much time, money, resources to learn, and it's not even just an easy answer. Like I'm not gonna give somebody everything inside of my brain. It's literally just not realistic for me to do, especially to a complete stranger. Like you're asking for too much of my time at that point. Like that's the main resource that you're asking me for, is my time. When also I feel like if you're really serious about it, you should do your research. Like buy a course, YouTube, hello, find someone else who's doing what you're doing and approach them appropriately. Offer to pay for their time. Like, hey, do you have a consult? Can I book a consult with you? That would be the right way to approach me, and you can have my time if you pay for it. It's just a lot to explain, and that's why I'm just making this video. So next time someone asks me this question, it's literally my favorite thing when somebody asks me a question, I have a video for the answer. That is what I'm doing this for. Make sure you guys check out my other 2 YouTube videos, and all my other content. And if you have not already, please hit the subscribe button, please like, and please comment. It really, really is helpful to get me in this algorithm so that my video can reach more people that are also looking for this information. And give me a thumbs up, follow my Instagrams, let's connect. And if you do have questions, please go ahead and comment on these Airbnb videos. That's the best place to get a reply from me. My DMs on Instagram are really not it. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna call my panic sister back. You guys, let's see how it goes. Let's call her back. Wait, so this is how you, I'm literally in the middle of recording right now.
Bro, I'm literally panicking, okay? I literally need you to stop everything you're doing and cater to me because I cry, okay? I'm a big crying baby. My life is falling apart, and I just called my mom and she said everything was gonna be okay, but it doesn't feel like it's okay.
Oh yeah, I gotta get this video done.
Bro.
Just give me like 10 minutes, okay?
No. I'm going through crisis.
Aaliyah, please, 10 minutes.
No, bro.
I have to get this video done. I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back. Okay. Call you right back. Bye. Okay. Sorry about that. So, first. Okay, so first. Bro, mute yourself.
Bro.
Mute yourself, please, Aaliyah. Come on, 10 minutes.
What is this video about?
Oh my god, how to start your first Airbnb property, how to get it.
Why do you gotta do this right now?
Because I'm literally recording right now.
Bro, can I panic first and then you can record?
I'm recording right now.
I'm literally not okay. I'm literally not okay.
You're fine.
I'm not okay.
No, you're wasting my recording time, Aaliyah. I've already heard your problem. We've all assessed it. We think you're fine. I'm gonna call you back or put yourself on mute.
You're the worst sister in the freaking world. Never call me again.
I'm gonna call you back in 5 minutes. She hung up. Jesus! Y'all see what I gotta deal with? And for the record, I already know exactly what she's going through and she's literally fine. That's it. Let's call my sister back. She didn't answer. She's just being super rude now. She's literally not answering. You doing better?
I don't like you. Goodbye.
Alright, well, y'all have a good evening. Thanks for tuning in.